listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
Morning, Peter. Morning, Jim.
Morning, Richie.
Are you going to do your Absolute Radio
I've got to
and
do
all
that
that
thing.
stuff?
Sorry,
Yeah.
the notes were way over to my
I don't want to
left.
seem like I'm helping you out in your career.
Sarah's producing today, and I've got every confidence in her. It's not been a great start. So, this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Frank,
Mm-hmm.
we've heard from the outside world already this morning.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some tweets in. Firstly, and very excitingly, James Wadham been in touch to say, does Frank realise he's part of a top trumps card set now? He gets beaten by Rusty the Dalek, though, don't we all, dear?
Well,
still, check out
we're doing the S&M community. That's great news.
Is he still going, is he, Rusty?
Yeah, we call him the Dalek because he likes
Don't tell
to
people
use
why.
one of those
don't wanna
kitchen
know.
plungers.
Yes. I knew you were going to tell people why.
I did know that. In fact, of course, I own. I actually own 2 different copies of that Top Trumps set.
Hey, that's exciting
Just
for
the two.
Buzz.
That's the bit
Is
that
Buzz
surprises me.
excited?
I haven't told him yet. I don't think he knows the concept of Top Trumps. Are they big with the small children now? Top Trumps.
They used
Top
to be.
Trumps works for
Have they
kids,
been
yeah.
destroyed by the President Trump Association?
Not yet.
Oh, I
as
thought
far
you
as I
meant
know.
the entire basis of them is a bit too competitive as well.
It'd
Yeah.
be good, wouldn't it, if there was one based just on the Trump family? So,
Oh, that would be
Ivanka
good.
and all the little ones.
Oh.
I've got Junior.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
business idea you've had there.
Yeah, exactly. Go on, take it. Good
Someone will
luck.
be thinking I'm
I'd
having
like
that.
Tiffany.
Good luck with it. Feed your family.
She's my favourite Trump, Tiffany.
I don't know, Tiffany.
Well,
Trump.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's why she's my favourite.
There's
Yeah,
a
but what
reason
would
for
she
that.
score for bravery?
You, my friend, scored 32.
32 for bravery. I'm
That's a
having
good
that.
score. That's a good
48
score.
brains, 2 terror. There you go.
That sounds really a fair summary of my life.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think it is based on your role in the Doctor Who
Yes,
franchise.
I mean, physical
so-
bravery would be a bit lower.
Right.
Terror, I'm low on terror, generally
Yeah.
speaking. But brains, obviously,
Yeah,
big time.
up there, innit?
Extraordinary thing to say about yourself.
Not for Frank, I don't think.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think.
There'll be professors listening, this snorting with derision.
Maybe. I have an email that I found on my Friday night troll that I think...
Get you?
If we have any new readers of the show, this I think gives them kind of a little taste of the flavour that this show can bring. Hi, Alan. G'day, Frank. Hiya, DME, darling Miss Emily. Divine Miss Emily, even.
Yeah.
Got a slightly odd correzione for you. Excuse me. Odd in so much as that I thought last week that Frank was wrong to refer to the common brickwork pattern along the top of many castle walls as castellation. I was sure that he ought to have said crenellation. Whilst I'm a long-time listener of the show, I am a lifelong pedant and was keen to point out Frank's mistake to him in the form of a correzione. However, discussing this point with my wife, she told me that Frank wasn't actually wrong, but that I wasn't either. Both terms can be used.
There you go.
Then we switched to caps. Who knew?
No.
Well, my wife did, but then she grew up in a house with crenellation, or should that be castellation? Praise redacted as per your request, Nugget. I mean,
Okay.
I think that has a
Nugget.
lot of the sort of things that we talk about in there: castellations, crenellations, and correcciones.
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and massive pedantry.
Yes, it's a very castle-themed show, generally speaking. I sometimes think we might have Tourette syndrome.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've had another tweet in, this time from Kate.
Oh, yeah.
She says, whatever happened to tubes in meat?
Oh.
When we were kids, we often found tubes in mince, especially in school dinners. Or is it that I just don't eat school dinners anymore? Now, the thing is, this sounded quite familiar to me because I believe this was one of when Frank Skinner was a guest on Room 101 many
Yes.
years ago. Was this not one of your inclusions, Frank?
It was. Exactly that. I chose them. I chose tubes in meat, and it was when Nick Hancock hosted it.
Yeah.
The first Doctor, as I like to call it. I'm the third Doctor.
Yeah.
And they found me some fabulous examples. One got like multiple arteries running through it.
Yeah.
I think I described it as a meat harmonica and attempted to play it on the show.
Well, I think
But
this
yeah,
is
great minds, Kate.
Well,
Well, great minds, and also just highlights what I often think is that when I have an amusing thought, I think Frank's got there first.
Oh.
but here's a question: Did it go in room 101? The tubes and meat
Yes.
thing, because that could be her answer when she says what happened to it. The answer could be
that's why it's
Frank
gone.
put it in room 101 and now it's not here
I see.
anymore.
I don't know.
Perhaps the show has more power than any of us realised.
That's possible. Yeah. Funnily enough, I was invited to a screening of Sophie's Choice at the BFI just this
Late
week,
review.
and that was one of my choices on the.
Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, I had a terrible thing when I got the. We borrowed my brother's VHS player. He was one of the first men, I think in Britain, to have a VHS player.
Really?
And when he went on holiday, he was frightened about leaving it in the house.
What,
So-
our Keith was?
No, our Terry.
Oh, Terry.
So
Sorry.
he took it over to our house for safety. I mean, it took a bit of shifting. It was a
Right.
big. So I thought I'd get a nice weepy in for my mum and dad to watch, and there's a lot of swearing in Sophie's
is there?
Choice. Oh,
Yeah.
dear. I had to walk out the room.
Oh no.
And then my mum came and knocked on my door, and I said, "No, please, I can't go back down there." And she said, "You've got to. We don't know how to switch it off." And I could hear this swearing coming from. So I hate Sophie's Choice.
Well, she didn't like it much either.
No, it was a grim one, admittedly. But you know, if you're going to make an omelette. So, I'll tell you what I did this week. It's Christmas is imminent.
It's upon us.
I don't know if you remember imminent. He was Mr. Humphreys in Are You Being Served? So I went to the Old Vic,
Did you?
Lovely.
scene of the crime, and I went to the Old Vic and for Christmas Carol,
Oh, yes.
which is a new adaptation with. I'm going to try this now. Reese fans.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, is this one of your brother-in-law's productions?
It is. Yes. My brother-in-law did it, and he obviously Charles Dickens did it.
Yeah.
But he's
your brother-in-law, yeah?
He is. Charles Dickens,
Dickens.
my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I can now
You get
announce.
lots of lovely tickets since he's been in the family.
Oh,
I'm a bit jelly bags.
Look, I got tickets before. But what about this? So we got there, and he got. You can buy the book of the script when you go into a theatre sometimes. with
Oh,
the
yes.
script. So he dashed off to the counter and he got me the book of the script. Didn't give one any of the other party of our party. Didn't get them one. Just got me one. I thought, well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And he said, have a look at the. And I had a look, and the dedication for Frank.
No.
Oh man!
Oh, shut up.
I was. Even talking about it now, I get a bit tingly.
I would be really choked up by that.
And Reese Evans, who was marvellous in it as Scrooge, I saw him after and said, "Oh, you were absolutely brilliant." Which is it's great when you see someone you can just be honest. It's
Yes,
to lie
and it was
about.
good.
He
I
said,
have
"You were really
to say it's had
marvellous."
raves.
And I said, and by the way, have you seen this? I got the old. Then I saw Eunice Stubbs. I said, hello, Eunice. Have you seen this? I became the party bore showing my
did you?
dedication. I mean, even to people who are in it.
Yeah.
Got to be
You know,
careful
it's their-
showing your dedication
it's
off
their
these
night.
days.
It wasn't about me.
No. Although it is.
But what I was going to do is they sang there was lots of Christmas carols, sort of, as sort of background music and stuff, sung by the cast. And one of them was God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. I had to stop myself there because I've never suffered much with the spoonerism. You know the spoonerism when you reverse the beginnings of words?
Yes.
But I said, somebody was talking about the thing, and Scrooge doesn't like that particular hymn. And I said, oh, yeah, God rest ye, Jerry Mentleman.
Oh.
And I think someone thought I was being pro-Nazi.
Oh, dear.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I'm still talking about the dedication.
Oh, the Christmas Carol, yeah.
Oh, I felt like singing dedication. Dun dun.
The Russ Abbott song.
No, Roy Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You're
thinking of Atmosphere.
I was. Yeah. I was one out, wasn't I? Really.
Anyway, God rest ye, Jerry Mental Man. I think.
Dear.
Oh yeah, your spoonerism.
That was an accidental pun. Some people would spend their whole life dreaming of making a pun like that.
Really?
It just fell off me like windfall fruit. Comedy people. Come on, Jerry Mental Man. I mean, that's the Nazis summed up in a slight rejig of a popular hymn.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Now, I've seen photographs of this press stills, I believe they're called, of Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
And
She's a lovely girl.
Well, my mother, who was an actress, always said the most insulting thing you can say to someone after a performance of any sort is, your hair looked nice.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think Rhys Ifan's hair looked nice.
Oh.
I think he's a brilliant actor and he's had good reviews, but I just thought he's found his look. It happens
really?
to you at stage and his hair looked great.
Victorian miser look.
Yes.
His look is Scrooge.
I love
It's a great look for him.
I love Victorian miser chic. That's really the thing this season.
It really suited him.
I did think about that because he's a bloke from a poor background, Scrooge, who gets rich and then becomes very taciturn and doesn't have any friends.
Oh.
I started to think a bit more about the dedication. There was a hint being dropped.
I'm still concerned that you think his hair in the show is his hair in real life.
Well, if it's not, I want a word with him.
When I spoke to him
He
after,
needs to keep it like
he
that.
still had the sideburns and all
Good.
that.
Can you tell him to
really?
keep it like that?
Well,
Thanks.
Well, I don't think I met him once.
Oh, okay.
That's slightly limiting for an actor, though, if you say you have to keep your hair like that.
Well, sometimes
He
you
has to
find
only
your
play
look.
Scrooge.
Frank Skinner has found his look, hair-wise. It's been long,
Yeah.
It has.
and now I prefer
Been
it.
shorter than this.
I like it as it is.
I have
thank
a
you.
friend.
Oh, don't show off.
Yeah, on the radio with his bursting ways.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a very keen mod. You know mods?
Oh,
they,
yes.
They love
Oh,
the
yeah.
I remember
rules,
them.
don't they,
I
mods?
remember 'em.
And he carries a photograph of Paul Weller in his wallet in case he ever goes for a haircut, and then he just shows them, I want this, and they cut his hair like that. So maybe Rhys
I want this, like Little
could
Britain,
yeah.
Lou and Andy.
Maybe Rhys Ifans could just carry a
What's
copy
Rhys
of...
Ifans then?
Is it Ifans?
I think it's Rhys Ifans.
Oh, yes. Sorry,
I would say...
I didn't
that's
get the
also,
Welsh
yeah,
lilt
I
that
would
you
say
bring to it.
Rhys Ifans.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
you say potato. Yeah.
I was.
Maybe he needs a
I must
Christmas
have
Carol
told
in
you
his
about when
pocket.
I was on tour and I had my hair cut, and the bloke said, "How would you like it?" And there was a poster of me across the road, and I said, "I want it like that." I mean, come
Excellent.
on.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We've just had a whatever happened to text in.
Oh yes.
Hi Frank, Alan and Emily. Whatever happened to pulling up all the windscreen wipers on your friend's car if you see their car parked in town?
Oh yeah.
What's that? I've never
I
done
think that's
that.
gone, but I've had it done to me recently by
Have you?
exactly the sort of person that would also flick a towel at you if you were to go past
yeah.
them. Like,
But what's
it's
the
very
point
much
of
a-
it?
It's a
just
jape.
Just a minor irritation, kind of, matey, almost sort of bullying bants, I
Oh,
would
okay.
say.
I
that
don't
that
like
kind
that.
of thing.
Yeah,
Jock behaviour.
Well, Coulthard and Wilson, I'm not
Yeah, they would
quite-
have done it.
Yeah, I believe there's a shoe shop. They say, whatever happened to having a crick in the neck?
Oh, I think that's still
Oh.
going, isn't it?
Is it?
I haven't had a crick for a long time.
Haven't you?
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever happened to blood groups? That was. People were always used to talk about blood groups.
What
Do you
blood
not
type
still
you
have
are?
You still have a blood group,
No, I know we
darling.
still have
Yeah.
one, but no one talks about it. It used to be like
Yeah.
a first date thing. So,
Yes.
what's your blood group?
Really?
Well, you're right, because it was...
Oh,
the-
yeah,
the-
that
Some very thorough first dates,
That
didn't you?
always cropped up.
Tell-
Then, if you were both if you evolved in an accident.
Is it type O?
Well,
So if you know,
Tony
say if you-
Hancock based an entire comedy conceit around it.
Did he?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, blood transfusion, but the
Yeah.
blood group thing, yeah. You'd always ask on a first date. But there was more drinking and driving in those days. Often you had to, you both ended up in hospital and you were helping out. But yeah, it used to be. I don't have my own now. I honestly don't have my own.
But you would have then.
Yes,
Oh.
I certainly don't know any of yours. I mean, we've never discussed it.
I don't think I know my own.
Isn't it amazing? We're doing this
well,
show.
I'm Rhesus Negative, which sounds like a character in Game of Thrones.
I think he was Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah, it's gone anyway. Got another thing.
There's a
gone.
lovely photo in What's on Stage has just come up of you with your Kath.
Oh yeah.
Backstage, and your brother-in-law and Risa fans.
Greasy fans.
Yeah. And you've got You're wearing the strawberry V-neck, which you've got on today.
I am. I'll tell you why I'm wearing this. You call it strawberry, I'm calling it pink.
I'm
Yeah, I
calling
would
it
have
burnt
gone.
rose.
I'll go puce.
Okay.
Puce.
The reason I'm wearing it is that my child at school told the kids that one of his favourite colours was pink, and he got mocked and laughed at by his schoolmates, and he came home a bit upset.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I've worn a pink jumper all week in
Right.
solidarity.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Not that I'm in solidarity anymore. I feel we achieved our ends when Gorbachev brought down Sovietism.
Yes.
I have got. Speaking of acting, I think I've got an acting job this week, which I can't talk too much about.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done.
And I play. Here's the Rob. Here's the Rob. I have to play a Cockney.
Oh,
No.
okay.
That's what I thought.
How's that going to go?
Well, that's a good question. One of my pet hates. I think what I'd put into Room 101 if I was on there again after Meat and Tubes is when you see something and they don't quite get the accent.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
quite get it, and it lapses.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot of the voices on here.
I know, but consistent.
Often with a
But
plan.
Al, what about when Frank had to do an audition with an American accent?
I know.
That didn't go well.
No, well, I only do one American accent,
Is
as
it
you
that-
know.
Could you
that
want
guy
to
that
do the
sits on
voice
his
that you
yard?
did in the audition, please, Frank, in case
Well, I was
people haven't heard it?
playing, I believe it was a gay lawyer
Right.
in a film called L.A. Law or something like that.
LA Law was a popular
Oh,
television.
no, maybe it
Serious?
wasn't
Yeah.
that. It had the word law in it.
Okay.
Right. Law-abiding citizen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was a gay lawyer and I was talking to this woman about how everyone was on their laptops in this place. No one was talking to each other. But the only American voice I do is Wild West Old-Timer.
Yeah.
So she says something like, it's busy in here today, Paul. And I said, yeah, but one thing I don't get is why everyone sits there on their laptops. Why don't they talk to their real friends? She just looks at me in astonishment.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So, any tips on the Cockney accent?
Well,
You're both actors.
well, I would say don't go for what I call RADA Cockney,
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
what?
which
Can I
is
say
a bit
this-
Barbara Windsor.
Can I say-
All right, darling, how you doing?
Well, I agree with that, except there is a slight distinction. This is set in the 1960s, when one feels, and it's also in
Yeah.
the underworld, when one feels there was a bit more of the old...
Let's hear.
That
This
sounded
is
all right,
good.
you know.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about.
I didn't mind
sounded-
that.
Oh, didn't mind it.
Had
I
a
like
touch of Frank Butcher to me. Is that who you're
Okay.
basing it on? What's his name?
I'm not especially. That's more wallop, wasn't it? I had to say my auntie's in it, and that was what I struggled with. Because
Oh.
would a 60s Cockney say auntie
Oh, yeah.
and lose the T altogether, or would he say auntie?
Well, the second is a bit more your modern Cockney, your Danny
Yeah.
Dyer,
Yeah.
I'd say. Whereas I think you might be right to go for the first.
Auntie.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds
It's a
strange.
slightly donkey-esque.
Yeah.
Hang on. Auntie or auntie?
Yeah.
8, 12, 15.
There you go. There must be some Cockneys listening. Just put down the fruit for 1 second. I know you're laying the stall out at this time. Actually, it's probably out by now, isn't it?
I should think.
Yeah, just have a moment. And should I say auntie or auntie?
Yeah. I think. Well, the
one of our
producer
best
is nodding
texting.
at the second one, but then she is the younger Jen.
She's from Hull.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask someone from Hull about my Cockney accent.
Because she's producer, she thinks an authority figure on everything.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
I went to the House of Lords this
Did you?
week.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw a thing. I mean,
What was that for then?
I was invited by Baroness Bakewell.
Oh,
Of
lovely.
course he was.
Um,
She's worked with them all, you know.
Yeah.
It
She's worked with
really
them all.
has.
I tell you, I was standing in the. I suppose it was a sort of vestibule,
Oh.
and it was
you've got
more of
previous-
a singlet.
You've got previous with the speaker, Frank.
Well, that was Commons though.
Oh, yes, Commons.
I've been there. I've been there when it's been empty, but I've never been in there when it's been in session before. Anyway, David Blunkett came in, Lord Blunkett of,
Yeah.
Sheffield?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
and someone he can't take the dog in the chambre, so the dog was led away, and he went off with the white stick. He powered forward with tremendous confidence.
Really?
The stick went straight through this bloke's legs, standing
Yeah. Oh,
in
really?
front of me. And he sort of went, whoa! And then he said, oh, sorry. And then he stuck it in this woman's leg. I mean, he absolutely created havoc. They were terrified, these people. And it was brilliant in many
I
ways.
quite like him for that.
It was David Blunkett. Think he'd just get out of the way. That's
I
the
haven't
deal.
got time.
But
Has he
it-
still got Sophie?
God, it was
That's
like
his
Darth
dog.
Vader with the old lightsaber out. I don't know what the dog. I thought it was Bess, his dog.
No, he had Sophie, the celebrity guide dog. I liked
I'm
her.
sure it was Bess.
Oh, okay.
8, 12,
David
15.
Blunkett.
I just
dog.
thought I met a Sophie at the GQ Awards. I may have been wrong.
Oh, what the
I'm
dog?
surely everyone
Yes.
that goes to the GQ
Oh.
Awards meets a Sophie, but it's not always like a
Bess
celebrity.
might have, dogs that don't live forever.
Yeah, this is
Sorry,
true.
kids.
Merry
You're
Christmas.
listening, but we have to accept that.
Humans too, just FYI.
Yeah,
Sorry,
good point.
kids.
Good point.
So I went into. They have a question time. I didn't even know they had a question time at the Lords.
Oh, yeah.
That was also.
Were you allowed to ask a
did you ask
question?
them?
No, I
Oh.
couldn't ask. But they get up. They don't have the speaker doesn't do that shouting down thing. So they get up and they say, my lords, and there'll be two people doing it at the same time, like a big standoff.
Oh,
And
okay.
sometimes it lasts for like 20 seconds. People go, my lord, my lord, and trying to talk over each other. Like,
Right.
you know that bit on Mock the Week
Yeah.
when you try to walk up to the microphone?
And they
It's
said,
exact-
is it? Yeah.
It's exactly like that. It was very strange. I recently looked up on a website how not to be sexist.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
it's the.
Was it on
That's nice to know.
hownottobesexist.com?
It was. I can't remember what it's called, but I thought I'd check
Did
it
the
out.
website crash or something?
It's an element of speed awareness course about it.
Yeah.
So I had a look, and it said one thing: never ever talk over a woman.
Oh.
I know, but
Great.
it was completely flouted in the House of Lords.
Right.
There was Lord Tebby and this woman, and he's normally such a mild-mannered,
Yeah.
You think?
sweet bloke. Anyway, it was great. There was the questions. There was two on the AIDS. There was Michael Cashman asked a question on the AIDS. You know, Michael Cashman used to be in EastEnders.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, yeah.
Lord Cashman.
Is he Lord Cashman?
Yeah. And then
wondered
there was
what happened to him.
a question about old people falling over in the home.
What's
Right.
that?
Well, I was all ears. House of Lords, that was a biggie.
Yeah.
And then it ended with a slap wrist for Donald Trump was the last thing for...
Was it?
he's gone a bit...
He's gone rogue.
He's gone a bit You've Been Framed
Yeah.
this week.
He's not gone rogue.
No, but he's gone more rogue than
Yeah,
ever.
I
Some
suppose.
people were surprised.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he was attacked as well.
Oof.
Right? I mean, formally attacked. It was brilliant, actually. Had a great day. Bit of lunch.
Really good.
Bit of lunch in the
lovely
Bowery
day
Room.
out.
I love the House of Lords. Just a little tip. I'm moving that way.
Are you?
Lord Skinner of Oldbury.
Oh, this is going to be like when he hinted his way into a Doctor Who role. He's
You
now
know
going to
what?
go on the radio until he's
It
a lord.
actually worked.
It
Yeah.
worked.
Exactly.
Set
Well,
a terrible
who knows?
precedent.
I mean, how do you get to be a lord? You don't have to
we'll
be a
soon
politician.
find out,
I
my
think
friends.
mainly you hint on commercial radio.
Is that the way forward?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It started.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or you may, if you wish, email the show via the Absolute Radio website. You choose.
Frank, in addition to your Cockney Sparrow role,
Oh, yeah.
there's been some other big news this week.
Oh, yes.
I would like to talk about Harkle. That's what I've heard the portmanteau word for them.
Harkle.
Really?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Yeah. Have
The
you got
trouble
any
is-
improvements on Harkle?
What about marry?
Well, why can't
Oh, that's
That'd be
good.
topical.
Yeah, marry.
why can't they go with Prince Harry as in PH and call them Farkle?
Oh, I'm not sure about Farkle.
You don't think so?
I like Farkle.
Is there
I
an
think
air
that's-
of jeopardy for
I think-
commercial radio
Yeah, I think
every time I say Farkle?
Yes, I should stop saying it. It's,
Harkle, Harmeg,
Yeah, it's-
Hammy. No, I'm with Harkle. I like Harkle.
I think most people are going with Royal Wedding, aren't they? They're
Wow.
using that as the...
Meg
Those
Green.
boars.
Pardon?
So what do we think of this union? Are we overjoyed?
Overjoyed.
Are you?
Well, I have a
Oh, he's got
question.
misgivings.
Go on.
I think
Tell on to him. On him.
there's been a lot of talk about the mixed race thing, which is great. There's been a hint of that she might be Catholic.
Yeah, well, she went to a Catholic school.
Went to a Catholic school, but some of them lapsed up to the eyeballs,
Is
as my
she,
priest used to say.
Some do.
Is she a
lapse up to the
divorcee?
Well,
Wow.
she's a divorcee, but we don't know. There could have been all sorts of stuff going on there.
Okay.
Could have been thinged,
Annulled.
annulled.
Okay.
I
But even if
I'm
she's a
interested.
divorcee, I believe that she can get permission to marry in a church again, can't she?
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wake up. Wake up. Wake up and smell the incense, mate.
Justin Welby wished them well.
Yeah, but that's a different. That's the
Okay.
other. They're a bit more
Different
liberal.
brand.
Oh, are they?
Are
No,
they?
but if she's a Catholic, right?
Right.
I know.
He's
I know
always got
he's,
the Catholic angle.
I know
love
he's
it.
something like fifth in line to the throne. But
He's
I know.
sixth. I mean, he's currently, to be fair though, Danny Dyer's ninth.
Royal, yeah.
You're about
Says,
seventh.
who do you think you are?
Royal family, though, you only need a couple of hunting accidents. You got a Catholic queen and a ginger king. I think I might have a drink that day.
What about when that person in the crowd, when they went on their walkabout, and he said, "Well done getting her, you're a ginger," because he was a
really?
he was a red-headed man himself who said that.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
And Harry responded, he went, "I know."
Did he? Did he add? I'm a prince too, by the way.
Yes.
Just in case you were wondering.
On the Danny Dyer front,
Ring him for some tips on the Cockney.
no, but I looked her up and
Danny Dyer?
to see what her background was.
Right.
Meghan.
If she's got any
Harkle.
royal lineage.
Yeah, and she is related to Edward III,
No.
Really?
which is the same as Danny Dyer. So she's related to Danny Dyer.
Oh,
So
that's
Danny
fabulous.
Dyer will be in some ways a member of the royal family.
That is breaking news.
Now, I
here
don't know
on
how many
Absolute
hunting
Radio.
accidents we'd need to get him on the throne. But what a thought, though.
He proposed over roast chicken, which I
Well,
thought was
that's-
not the most romantic of meals.
Oh, it's
No.
great though, because people are often in a very good mood straight after a roast chicken, don't you think?
I think
People
so.
love food with a handle.
I think some
Yeah.
of the
I
happiest.
mean, that's the joy of roast chicken.
I mean, I've never been proposed to, but I could imagine after eating
Have
a
you
roast
not,
chicken.
Al?
Never been proposed to. But after a roast chicken, I think I would probably say yes to most proposals because I'm just in a good mood
You're
anyway. 'cause
happy?
I'm just eating a roast chicken.
Do you think they had a roast chicken
I think they
between
ate a
them?
roast chicken. It might even have been a rotisserie one from a supermarket.
Because
We
it's a
don't know, do
family
we?
tradition. You know, Henry VIII with the old bones going over the shoulder.
Yeah.
I like to think that lives on.
Well, to be fair, Harry has got something of the thin Henry VIII about him.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bit gap-toothed and just something
Yeah.
and a redhead.
You're not suggesting that Henry VIII's the father. I mean, there's been some talk, but that puts a tin hat on
I
it.
think we can confirm that's not being suggested.
You never know, do you? The spirit of Henry VIII.
Yeah.
He's Henry as well. Harry. That's his real name, isn't it, Henry?
And we
Yes.
need to we need to
makes
discuss
sense,
the matchmaker. Close quotes.
Well, we'll come back to that. If we're talking about Christmas snacks, let's have a gap.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So we're talking about Harkle. Now, I've got to be completely straight with you. I'm just not buying the matchmaker story.
What is the matchmaker story
I
you've
don't know.
alluded
They had
to? What?
The
roast chicken and matchmaker.
story
talking about?
That's the meal.
Hold your high horses. Let the lady speak. Is that...
Yeah, don't talk over women. That's one
You
of the
said it
rules
to
of
me,
not
thought
being
you were doing
sexist.
it as well.
Excuse me.
How dare you?
We were grilling her.
I have been given
You're having a laugh. ain't you?
special dispensation by the House of Lords. So, the story, when they asked them, they said, "Sir, may I ask how you met?" Yes, it was a friend of ours acted as a matchmaker, a mutual friend, but we don't want to name her. We'd like to protect her privacy.
Oh.
Is there a friend? Or was he just a massive fan of her show?
Oh.
And I'm just saying maybe, I don't know this happened, but maybe one of his people got in touch and
Oh.
arranged a meeting.
Do you think
not
it's
the
like
old, Michael Caine?
Well,
I will marry that
I was
girl.
under the impression
Yeah,
for some time
very
that is what
excellent.
happened. I thought that's what happened. So this whole matchmaker story is, all I'm saying is it's news to moi,
Right.
okay? But it's quite 70s, which I like, but I
Yeah.
think they realised it's not very Christmassy. It's not very Richard Curtis, the Michael Caine story, is it?
I think
Saw her
Matt-
on the telly, loved her, called up her people.
Can't be more Christmas than a matchmaker.
True enough.
Oh, what?
However they met, it's happening. So there you go.
But she said she didn't know who he was. You know, that old one.
I know, come on, you can't say
Yeah.
that about Prince Harry.
I know, when people...
There was...
got the
Pretty
amount,
cool.
the amount of women who said to me, I didn't even, didn't really know who you were.
Right. Then
Well,
you
the fact I was on stage with that microphone, I think I was testing
They say it a lot,
your house
yeah.
is full of Frank Skinner posters.
It's all right
Is
to
that-
go out with someone because he's a prick. I mean, if you fall for someone, you fall for the whole package, the physical and the job and everything.
But
It's fair
I think
enough.
maybe they think it's better to make it more Richard Curtis and say a mutual friend. I understand.
Might
why
have been
they've done
Tinder. We don't know, do we?
it. Oh, yeah.
Might-
High-class
yeah.
Tinder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
There probably is an exclusive,
that's what they
There
call.
is one.
That's what they used to call Windsor Castle.
Well, that's where they're getting
Come on, that was a
married.
Windsor Castle fire joke.
It was
I
really
got it.
good.
I got
Frank,
it.
I loved it.
For history fans,
Yeah,
that was
not that long
you know.
ago.
This news in, I think I read, this is from 457, Meghan was to be baptised and confirmed C of E prior to the wedding. So I'm sorry to tread on your dreams, Frank.
I've gone off her. That's an outrage.
Yeah.
To change one's essential beliefs to marry into money.
Well,
Is that good? That's awful. I mean, I'm still gutted about the Armada not making it. She's changing her religion. So
I believe so.
Nicole Kidman did that to marry Tom Cruise. You see where that ends up.
Yeah.
What if she was an atheist? May I bring atheism to it? What if she said, "I don't
Well,
want a
keep out-
church wedding"?
Then keep out the Catholic schooling system. Give somebody else a place. Anyway, we should. This is not a
Religious show?
no. It's not by no means.
You don't
Yeah.
think?
Look, I
Do you like them as a couple, though?
I like him.
Sure.
Or any high-profile ginger is good by me. As you know,
Well-
you may know I have a ginger son, and since then I have become, as I've said, to gingers what Joanna Lumley was to the Gurkhas.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't work out.
You see,
great
I like her, and I'm not so keen on him, I'm afraid.
Oh, really?
There's something a bit sort of like those blokes that post on Facebook, and there's a picture of the ring and the boy done good.
Oh, right.
I'm not so sure about him. I think he's punching and he knows it, and I'm
He's
pleased for
batting
him.
above average, somewhat
come on, he's
because
a
of the
prince,
princely
though.
status.
Yeah, but
a
look at the
prince.
state of it.
If a prince can't get an attractive woman, then
I'm
these
pleased
are
because
poor
he's
times indeed.
Yeah.
in his youth he's been in and out of the papers for
This is
various
true.
bits and bobs,
I
and
didn't know where that was going.
Well, he's
now
a
it feels
reformed
like he's-
playboy as well.
I
Yeah.
think there's a nice thing of like if you
Yes.
just leave people, let them get stuff
Yeah.
out of their system, they might end up
Exactly.
being nice.
We won't see
family.
another Nazi armband out of him. Don't worry about that. Those days are gone.
Well, I'm
You know.
never say never.
God
but-
rest ye, Jerry Mentleman. I think that was his. That's what it said on his Christmas cards that year. But what put me up, I'll be honest, I mean,
Go
I don't
on.
know them. Kath met him recently, my partner, and said he
Oh.
was very lovely.
Right.
Really?
That's good enough for me. I thought she's, I mean, I can only judge her by, she's an attractive woman. I don't think we're going to dispute that.
No,
But
lovely.
I looked her up on Wikipedia. First thing it said, actress, model, humanitarian. Well,
Right.
I mean, that put me off. Who calls herself a humanitarian?
It might have been a Wikipedia
Well,
edit
am I
that
a
she had nothing to
humanitarian?
do. No, I don't think so.
No.
Comedian, humanitarian. Well, you don't know, do you? Keep it secret. I'm not after the honours.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Good night.
Something I learned about Meg Han
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
is that she was a briefcase girl on
was what?
American Deal or
She was on Deal or No Deal.
Is that right?
She was one of the the briefcase girls who open up and show. Yeah, over there, they don't have sort of Dave from Luton on.
Right.
Yeah.
They have just a load of very, if I may say so, in the modern climate, very beautiful women.
Right.
Yeah.
And they open up the boxes in a sign of a slightly saucy way.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think she should have done that publicity picture last week, holding open the box with Harry's personal wealth figure.
No, that's not right, is it?
34 million he's worth, apparently.
Is he?
Is that all?
What's his job again?
It's a funny
he's
job,
worth
though.
34
When they
million.
say the prince, it sounds so glamorous. It is basically working in the civil service, isn't it?
Basically.
Yeah.
but
Except you
not-
don't have a lanyard.
No, you don't get 34 million in the civil service. He hasn't been working that long. He only left school, was it August?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Do they
Yeah.
pay their own way largely these days, though?
8, 12, 15.
No.
I like it when
Do
they
the
say, but the
royals
Queen's
pay
got a lot
their
of
own
private
way?
wealth. Yeah, where did you get that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a happy occasion. Everyone's happy,
Well,
except for
everyone.
Rylan.
Everyone bar Rylan Clark Neal. who,
Why is Rylan not happy, Al?
fuming? Quote, he's
I bet
fuming.
it smells lovely when he fumes.
I
though.
bet it does actually.
Oh,
He
yeah.
smells lovely, Rylan.
40.
Yeah.
He smells of 40.
Do you reckon too many squirts? Do you think he?
No.
You think he
Well,
sprays
I've heard
twice
that.
and just walks into it? Is that what you think?
What do you think he wears, Tom Ford, or a bit of Body Shop vanilla?
No.
It'll be something expensive, won't
Oh,
it?
I
it'd be
imagine.
something lovely
Yeah.
and pricey.
He's gone
Anyway.
a bit. He's gone a
I love
bit,
that man.
wild, a bit feral just lately.
Has he?
Rylan.
He used to have a very, very carefully manicured beard.
Cropped beard.
And now
yeah.
he's got he might have been on a desert island for say not ages, but say a month,
right.
and hasn't quite kept that up.
Oh,
yeah,
good. Glad
but he
to
was
hear it.
angry because there isn't going to be a bank holiday. That was the thing.
He said,
Furious
well,
about
what's
it.
the point?
Yeah,
What's
I
the
love
point
well,
of a
what's the
marriage
point?
if there's not going to be a bank holiday?
it's not going to be a bank holiday. And then he yelled, "Well, I'm having the day off anyway." And I think everyone around him says, "Well, you're self-employed. You can." I don't think this is an issue. Why
Also,
are you
I bet
raising
he
your voice,
doesn't.
Rylan?
I bet he doesn't. If he's offered the right stuff, he'll be there.
He'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
there.
Also, that's not going to be suspicious, is it? He's publicly stated, I'm having a day off anyway, and then he'll be
Do
off.
you think he'll be sacked?
Do you think?
It's
No, he's a national treasure,
I think
Rylan,
someone
now.
needs to sit him down and explain to him the joys of self-employment, or that you can have days off when other people are doing stuff, and you don't have
Yeah.
to apologise for it.
I haven't
Just-
noticed that.
You're a workaholic. You don't have to.
I
Yeah,
bet he'll be
forgot
cracking open the rosé on. I can see him now.
Well, I've heard some terms for it.
This is
Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
I would just panic if I was her. I just think, what if someone comes forward and tells an unsavoury anecdote
But
about
that
me?
could happen to anyone, couldn't it? It's
Well, he
usually
might.
in the best man's speech.
He might be panicking about what if someone comes forward and tells an unsavoury anecdote about
This
me.
is true. They tend
Who's
to
the,
operate a
who's
closed
the
shop
best
there.
man?
One or two.
Will it be
Oh.
Wills? Or one of the...
Bit,
Let's
rude,
see,
bit rude
Wills.
one, isn't it?
I think it's going to be someone in red trousers and a friendship bracelet.
Oh, so
Definitely.
Possible.
Yeah.
I think
that'd
maybe
be-
they're overdue a best woman in the royal wedding.
Oh,
Modern
yeah.
age.
Well, I don't think we can steer the ship towards that modern in one wedding. Surely that'll be
No,
more gradual.
what they'll be eschewing blood sports next thing we know.
Yeah, it's changed, hasn't it? I mean, Rylan Clark Neal getting so vexed about it. I don't understand why he thinks that his What next? We're going to ask Nicholas Witchell what he thinks of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It seems...
Does Nicholas Witchell believe in the Loch Ness Monster? If I remember rightly, he does.
Nicholas Witchell,
I
does
think
he?
he does, yeah.
Oh, OK.
Was
So
he
it turns
the
out we
one
have
that
asked
Prince
Nicholas Witchell
Charles
some of the weird things.
referred to as, I hate him, that
Yeah.
terrible man.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one.
Because there was another great
a royal
thing.
correspondent.
Did you notice that? That's what he'll always be known as.
Yes.
Hate that one. There was a great thing during the photo call where they came out, answered some questions, and then went back in, and you heard one of the photographers going, "Is that it?"
Yeah.
Which kind of killed the mood.
Jeremy Corbyn has wished them a long and happy marriage. Make your mind up. Come on, mate. Do you want to get rid of them or not?
Oh, because he's anti... You're right, yeah. Got you.
Interestingly, by the way, there was no bank holiday when Prince Andrew married Sarah Ferguson. No, but is it an anti-ginger thing by the royals?
Maybe.
Sarah Ferguson, the last great, I think you'd say,
That
royal
worked out
family.
really well, that
royal
one.
family. Well, they're still together.
Are they?
Well, not in marriage, but I think they're
Well,
still
they had
very
more
close.
of one of these conscious uncouplings. It was quite modern, wasn't it?
Did they?
I think
Yeah.
they still hang out a bit, don't they?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to say something that won't get me into prison.
Okay.
I'll leave
Good
it.
luck.
I'll leave it with that.
Yeah. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
The other thing I read about her, what about this, is that she used to be a freelance calligrapher.
Yes.
I mean, what?
I like that.
How much work do they get?
She does a lot of work with her hands, opening the suitcase.
Yeah.
Calligraphy.
I bet that if it says like the £200 or $200 where she's working, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I bet she replaces it with a beautifully hand. I wonder if she does that. What we used to call as kids, because we didn't know the fonts.
No.
We used to call it Robin Hood writing.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And at the palace, there must be loads of little signs. That
The sort
love
of
a bit
slightly
Robin Hood.
gothic font, the goth energy drink font, I call it.
I think it would be because Robin Hood was a popular TV. This is the original with Richard Green. I think. I don't know if it's the
Riding
original.
Through the Glen, this
but
Robin
I
Hood,
mean,
yeah.
not. There was a Jason Connery one, was there not?
Yes.
The Hooded Man.
This was before that. This was.
Like that.
This was he called a band of outlaws to a tavern on the green. It was that one, and it used to have Robin Hood writing, which is sort of I don't know, sort
Well,
of
I would call it,
Anglo-Saxon font.
It's
Yeah.
plasmon writing. You know when you get to an event and there's a little white card?
Yes.
It's called
I
plasmon.
bet she did that.
She does all the plasmon.
Hey, she
That'd
could
be
do
great
them.
at the wedding.
Save a bit of money, because
Yeah.
I'll say, I think it'll be an expensive wedding, this, so if they've already saved a few
Charles
quid
is
on
paying,
the plasmon.
apparently.
Is he?
Yeah.
That
His
is
par-
good of him. From
yeah.
the sausages money. Is that what he's from?
He makes money from those
He
sausages
does
now.
make a bit, yeah.
That's Frank's friend. He gets on well
Do you
with
think
him.
there was a chat where he said, I'm getting married, and Charles went, I'll take it out of the sausage money, it's okay.
Oh, check the sausage money.
think we've had a very good winter.
We've had a good year on the sausages.
So,
Don't worry, son.
I hope he does that. I really hope he does that. We've had a string of success, as it were.
Oh, pardon my pun.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Oh, Frank, we've had a text from 716 who said, his name's Paul from South America. He said, I'm a Cockney, it's the first one. Which I think means
No
Oh.
T. Artie.
auntie, not auntie.
See, I think if I was saying my Auntie Lynn, that'd be all right. But if I'm calling her Auntie, I think maybe I'll be better off saying Auntie.
Right.
Sorry, Auntie. I don't know, it's tricky.
It is tricky.
Yes. I do think Danny Dyer is the man to help us.
They should have booked him.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You can't give them casting tips, though, at this stage.
No.
Not now. Have you got the gig? Is it an actual
I've
gig
got
in
the
the
gig.
diary?
I've got
Oh,
the
this
gig.
is great news. Well,
brilliant.
hopefully still after this morning.
Nobody mentioned
I
it.
don't want them hearing the workshopping, Frank.
Nobody mentioned the Cockney thing to me, but he says things like cush tea and stuff like that.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought, well, there's no get. He eats Jerry Deals at one point.
Does he
Does
really?
he?
Oh, there's no Cockney stone left unturned.
Does he do the Lambeth Walk?
Horsey Dan. Anyway, so
Oh, actually, I would like to discuss. I mean, it's in the royal family.
Okay.
Literally, because there was some Prince George news this week. I know
Yes.
you're a George fan, Frank.
Am I?
Well, I say that with a certain amount of sarcasm.
Okay. I think
Because previously
I've
you
got
said
nothing
he
against-
looks like a bit of a bruiser.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a bad thing. Some kids are like that.
Yeah.
He does combine two of my favourite dog names,
What's that?
Prince and George.
Prince and George. Can't go wrong with those.
Well, he went to visit Santa in Helsinki,
Oh, yeah.
and
See, Boz went to see, but we just went like 20 minutes up the road.
A shopping centre.
Yeah.
he...
I think there's an element of fake news in this story.
Do you? Go
Do
on,
you?
why?
I do. Because, I mean, what is he?
news.
4? And apparently he was given a choice of what would he like for Christmas. And it says in the article that he wrote, in big, clear writing, police car.
I've seen the list. They showed it.
But-
Well,
Bear
they
in
showed
mind-
the writing.
They showed
but,
Prince
you know,
William
And did
with
it look
the list.
like an adult writing with their left hand? Because if a 4-year-old writes police clearly, then they're a child prodigy.
But you're
'Cause
not,
surely
you're
it
not allowing for the education
would,
levels
surely it would be
that they're
like
getting.
PLEES.
Yeah.
Like police car. There's no way, unless he's,
Well, he'd only written down, I think it was on one of those forms where you had like 5 options. He could write a list of 5 for the
Okay.
children to fill out. And I noticed he'd written on the 3rd line, not on the 1st, so not
Yeah.
that much of a child prodigy.
He's
But
working out what line he is
he
to
could
the
just be being
to
humble.
the throat.
He's leaving room for Danny Dyer at number 4.
Exactly.
He had written only down the one request, which I thought showed him in a great light.
Yes.
And he had, as you say, he'd opted for police car.
Weirdly, one of the things that he will have all through his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around. Well, he might own it.
No, but it'll always be there. So he doesn't really need his own.
Well,
does
he'll
he?
always
It's
have an escort. I mean, police escort.
Yeah.
I hasten to add.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know where I will go. But my child, there are stranger requests. I asked Boz what he wants for Christmas. He said, I'd like one of those bells that you hit, like the hotel reception bell.
Great gift.
Hotel
What's one of
child.
those?
I mean, I've got one of those, but
Have you?
Yeah.
I suppose I should get a new one.
That's
I'm just
a great
worried.
present.
There's potential for abuse there, isn't there?
Right.
Dad, just a minute. Ping.
It's a bit Little Lord Fauntleroy, isn't
Tinnitus
it?
by January.
I think I probably asked for a Panda car when I was. Do you remember Panda cars? They were police cars, but they were called Panda cars.
Yes.
Hold it, they were called Panda cars because they were pale blue and white striped,
Oh, is that why?
like pandas are. You know how pandas are pale blue
Don't
and
know
white.
why
They were
they're called
lazy
Panda
then.
Cars.
Yeah, but why were they called Panda cars? 8,
Is it-
12, 15.
Is it because the American ones were black and white? Is that why it would have been? And it would have travelled across the water.
Oh, I don't think things travelled across the water then, did they? I mean, Cilla Black was having hits with Dionne Warwick songs because the records hadn't come over yet, so I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see the police cars on their way.
All right. Well, 8, 12, 15.
Yeah. Why were pandas? Are pandas pale blue and white striped? Is the question. There'll be some naturalists.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text our show, please, on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. Shall I try it in Mike Cockney thing?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Text the show on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Very good.
I like that.
Sounded like one of those voiceovers for like, I don't know what.
It yeah.
Good. And we have been texted, by the
Oh,
way. We
good.
have had texting.
We've had a lot of texting over
we're
the
running
pandas.
various. We have had a lot of.
Pandas, they've gone mad over.
Have they?
You know, you were asking why police cars were called panda cars.
When
There's
they were
some-
blue and white striped.
Yeah, like it's not because pandas are blue and white.
It's not even dark. It's like a dark navy that could be mistaken for black. It was pale blue.
There's a whole
Exactly.
mixture of opinion on this.
Ah.
I'll,
Have I opened a can of...
a veritable,
Oh, okay.
veritable. 690 has texted, the police cars used to be a Fiat Panda, hence the nickname.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not having
Yeah.
that.
Ford Anglia, I think.
I'm not having that. I don't think. And also, there's various other opinions that will contradict that.
Yeah.
597 has said Panda stands for pursuit and arrest. It's nothing to do with how they're painted.
Pursuit and arrest. He's been working on his Cockney accent.
Panda.
Oh, yeah.
No, it doesn't
What
work.
about, why no love for suit or rest? I mean, they've just taken the headlines from those three
No,
words.
that's not good enough.
Can't just pick and choose like that.
No,
Police
that is
are
how
very
language
thorough.
works, though. It becomes leaner, doesn't
very
it?
thorough.
Panda cars.
Old-fashioned.
Pursuit and arrest cars. Panda
Michael
cars.
Poulter has got in touch. Hi, Frank
Not
and team.
Michael.
They are called Panda cars due to people watching Z cars on their black and white tellies. # true story.
So
That's
they
from
thought
Michael.
they were black and white.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's Michael. I
You
mean, there's
say
a lot.
# true story. I say # will be the judge of that. Which is quite a lot to hashtag.
I mean, they did exist in the streets as well. You know what I mean? So they would have seen them live as well as
Right.
on Z cars.
They weren't just an imaginary thing on a telly
They weren't.
And a
just-
lot
no,
of
they weren't.
people suggesting that they, for example, 232, cash-strapped police forces bought white cars and blue or black cars and swapped the doors because they couldn't afford to pay for painting the doors on each car.
Yeah. And he adds...
It's true.
Can't
Sorry, Al.
believe it.
Sorry, Al.
Yeah. He adds,
Aye.
it's true.
Alec Douglas Holmes, Britain.
He says, it's true, I was a Glasgow Rosa, which is, as you
Rosa.
know, common
Oh.
vernacular.
Alpha
yeah.
Rosa?
And then adds the LTLFTC, which I think stands for long-term listener, first-time caller.
Oh, I thought he was going to say it was his number plate on his Panda car. So you
fine work on that.
two have been working together, have you not?
We have.
This week.
Indeed.
The minute my
Emily-
back's turned.
Emily Dean interviewed me after I did a stand-up set for
Yeah.
Absolute on Sunday evening.
How was that?
I had the purple mic in his face.
It was all right.
Yeah. Well,
How was
again.
the interview or the gig?
Some of the terminology today is leaving me.
I'm so sorry.
Yes,
It's not intentional. I
He's
promise.
trying his best to not be bawdy, but you
I
know.
can't help it. It's
I know.
in me. It's in me.
What's
What's that music? It might be someone in the Golden Square. We're being serenaded, Frank.
Oh, yeah, maybe they can't hear it at home.
Yeah.
Might be my ringtone.
Might be Santa.
No, I
Yeah,
think
there is a noise.
there's
There is
something
a
very
noise.
loud. But anyway, it was an Absolute Radio, it was for Stand Up to Cancer, and it was a charity gig. And Al was on the bill, Alan
the bill.
Carr on the bill, Rob Beckett, Russell Kane, Tom Allen, lovely Zoe, who often sits in this chair.
So in Lyon.
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
her she was a bit good. I said, you don't want people to be that good when they stand in for you.
Yeah. Now you want to do Alex Ferguson
Yeah.
and say get David Moyes.
Exactly.
That's the way to work it out.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're just going to lower a blind, so there may be another noise in the background. There we go, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I was getting low winter sun right in my eyes,
Changed.
which I think we all know is a hazard whilst driving.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we
I'm the
just put it-
motoring correspondent on the show, after all.
Indeed.
Never forget your roots, Alan. I'll tell you what, as motoring correspondent, Frank, you really have lit up the switchboards with the Panda cars discussed. 989 has texted, Panda cars were not pursuit and arrest. They were the non-pursuit vehicles, still are. I am a Met Police inspector. Don't actually know the reason they're called pandas, but that is not it.
I liked he played his credentials big time and then
Of not knowing.
respect to him for admitting he doesn't know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When he says still are, does that mean they've still got Panda cars?
they're still saying Panda cars, it would seem. Oh, also,
Ah, no.
you suggested that the band Travis should have gone Why Does It Always Snow on Me to cash in on
Yeah,
the Christmas market.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
212 has suggested Why Does It Always Reindeer on Me?
I mean, that is
That's
so
great
good.
work.
I like that a lot.
Trebon. Somebody else is saying Panda was patrol and normal duties.
Well, why don't they cover all the letters?
Yeah,
What about
I don't
the
like
I?
this just taking letters at will.
What about if it was called Patrol and Normal Duties, actually?
Love that Richard Curtis film.
Very good.
Normal Duties is a thing I like very much. What does that mean? Can I say, by the way, before we go back to you working together, that I got a very nice message from Gemma, Janice and the team at the South Australian Tourism Commission. Can you
Lovely.
believe that? And they say the first ever day-night Ashes test starts in Adelaide on Saturday. Anyway, they sent me a pink kookaburra.
You do all the voices, don't you?
Oh, really? You can wear that with your pink jumper?
Yes, it's a cricket ball. Because it's a day-night test.
Oh, I
They
see.
use a pink thing so that it works in daylight but also works in the floodlight. So they've sent me a pink kookaburra, which is nice.
Lovely.
And a bottle of wine
Yeah.
and a bottle of beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, to hell with it.
Dear.
I'm going to get drunk and throw the cricket ball at a policeman.
Well, it's been good working with you.
I really enjoyed our little run.
Yeah, we've had a good run.
I spent some time in Adelaide with a man known as the Goat Prince.
You're kidding.
No, his dad.
It's a little joke there.
I got it.
Kidding.
No,
lovely.
that was a good joke and no buts. His dad had bought a lot of sheep, what you get nice wool off. What are they called?
Oh, merino?
Oh, is it merino
Lambs?
wool? I know the alpaca, but that's a different
Lambs?
thing.
No, not sheep, goats, rather.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So he was known as the
right.
goat. Is it?
Yeah, you have the goat. Yeah,
like the pashmina type.
there's chartreuse
ones.
as well. There's also.
Well,
Bless you.
so he'd bought,
Yeah.
his dad had bought a lot of goats, this Adelaide businessman, and then his son, he became known as the Goat King, so his son was known as the Goat Prince.
Huh?
And he got involved in putting on comedy shows for British comics. So.
Lovely.
Yeah, so I spent some time with the Goat Prince in Adelaide.
Okay.
No beard. I'd have gone for the beard, but people they don't follow it through.
No.
Anyway, thank you guys, and I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Lovely. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Very
Very happy
Christmas.
to receive a cricket ball, though.
Oh, I'll say.
You were?
I was.
Really happy.
That's hard to send in the post, isn't it?
It was in a lovely presentation box.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. You don't want it on its own.
I will say this about the little Sunday night gig that we did at the London Palladium. I'd never
Palladium?
played there before.
Oh.
Rob Beckett, young man, funny, very funny.
Will no one rid me of this troublesome priest?
He asked me when I was upstairs in the changing room areas if he could borrow some gel. I'm sure it was gel that he asked for.
Oh, okay.
And when I looked
Did he say,
confused,
you got any gel, mate?
I think I was looking at him with a facial expression that said, "Whatever happened to ... gel? Who still wears gel?"
yeah.
And then he went, "Mousse? Have you got any mousse?" And I said, "I think I might have some styling wax, but that's
Oh.
about it." You know,
Okay,
it's
I
not
wouldn't
clay.
have that. I think I still call it gel.
Gel.
Yeah.
He was calling
What
it
he meant
gel.
was, have you got any product?
No, his
Hair
face
product.
looked a little saddened
sure
at the idea of clay or wax.
He didn't say gel.
All right, girl. Yeah,
I tell
He's
you
just
what,
calling me the female.
Beckett had a bit of beef with us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he told us
Beef?
off.
Yeah.
He told us off.
Tell us what
what
Well,
happened?
tell us, say what happened now.
Well, there's a thing when people text in the show, we star them so that they're
Favourite
then
them.
there to be reused, to be readed in a
Prince
minute.
George.
I like to read them, to be read aloud moments later.
Aye.
And he said, I'll tell you what, you guys don't unstar your texts at the end of your show, do you? We've got to unstar. We spend about 10
Well, you
minutes
get in.
unstarring all your texts.
We got to unfavourite them. That's what you keep doing, and you're rubbing a nose in it, and we
Oh,
don't get
dear.
as many texts.
Well, couldn't they read out the ones we've starred and forgotten?
They can't have our scraps.
No. Oh, well, but we'll stop that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to start
Yeah,
I
unstarring
don't
our
want any
texts.
Beckettian problem.
No.
No, but he'll be useful for you with the Cockney accent.
Well, yours
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty good, I thought, that you just did.
Oh,
I think I've got
lovely.
the worst Cockney accent of the three of us, and I got the part. Isn't that the way showbiz goes?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So I interviewed Al, and I had to sort of do research on him.
Did you?
Yes,
Oh, did you?
because the man from Absolute.
So what else has
sorry
he
about
done?
That's a
He
good
said-
question. That is a good question. I often wonder that.
Yeah.
I know he's done Room 101.
He said, well, I didn't prepare a biog on Alan because you know him so well. He said I didn't think it was appropriate.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
good.
Couldn't
I
be bothered.
do, but I
Couldn't be bothered,
don't.
in other words.
'Cause- no.
Couldn't think it was appropriate.
But what I
Do
found
one anyway.
out
Do one for
about
safety.
Al- what I found out, he meant well. I found out that it said he did a lot of he had a collection of impressions when he was younger.
Oh, God.
I read this up about him,
Oh,
so I thought I'd put him on the little spot.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Give us one of your impressions."
Oh, yeah, what did I do?
You did a great Frank Spencer.
Yeah, I did Frank Spencer. Did I do David Bellamy? Did I
no,
mention David
I think,
Bellamy?
Yeah, you did mention him and Prince
Yeah.
Charles. Yeah.
No,
Harold
not Prince Charles.
Harold Macmillan, you did you?
But at the pinnacle of my impressions career, I think I was 11 years old, and I think I did Frank Spencer, David Bellamy, and Jimmy Cricket.
Wow.
And-
Yes.
and
Oh,
I
yes, you
think
mentioned him.
I think I did a little flashy bit at the end of my little turn where I muddled the voices up on purpose. I was 11. It was more cute than accurate, I think.
When I was 11, I did a very good Claire Matley.
Oh, yeah, how did that go?
Yeah, it was all right.
Well, wait till you hear my Neville Chamberlain. There was a bit of an awkward moment, though, Frank. I had a bit of a diva moment.
Uh-oh. With me?
No, not with you.
Oh, because
We
I
had a
remember
great
that.
time.
They've all blurred into one for me.
A man came over to
diva
me
moments.
and said they'd gifted us a lovely Roberts radio. I don't know if I'm
Oh,
allowed to
yeah.
mention that, but anyway.
I
it was
should
a
think
pro-
you are.
And you know, one of those
Very
nice
gift.
retros.
Really nice gift.
I know.
And it was in the dressing room.
I've Googled how much they are, obviously. They're really nice.
Did you get one of
It's
those?
like when Bob Monkhouse gave me a watch. I didn't even go home. I went straight to a jeweller's.
And a man.
The bloke said to me, "You'll be able to swim in it." I said, "That's amazing. I couldn't swim
Can't
before."
swim. It's a good watch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He didn't laugh. He did not a smile.
Oh, tough crowd.
A man in a sort of black T-shirt, one of the backroom staff, came over to me and said, "Oh, did you get is there a radio in your room, in your dressing room?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm going to have that back."
What?
I said, "I beg your pardon?" He said, "Yeah, we're going to need that radio back." I said, "But I was given it." He said, "No, I know, but we're one down. So we need it back."
No.
So I said, right, okay, I was given this in good faith. I think I might have
In good
used that
faith,
word.
yeah.
I
Glad
said,
you
I was
used
given
good faith,
this.
in
It
good
was
faith.
placed in my dressing room. He said, "Yeah, but we need that radio back." He was getting a bit aggressive.
Oh, no.
I said, "I'm keeping that radio." A woman suddenly came in. She went, "Are you talking about the radio mic for use on stage?" He didn't mean the radio. The poor man. It
no.
was, but I had already unleashed my fury.
What a wonderful climb down moment that must have been.
I had to say, "Oh, I'm glad we've cleared that up." Okay, I'll take my radio then, and you can have your radio mic. Bye bye.
Verbally, you must have been like a tennis umpire at the end of a shift there. Just, okay, there's a
know.
lot of stairs I've got to climb down now off my high horse.
I was somewhat humiliated. I won't lie.
And fair play to you for then bringing it up on the radio.
Why didn't he
Fair
clear
play.
it up? Oh, but that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Très bon. Really good.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Anyway, on a somewhat religious tip, we're approaching a religious festival.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's the ever-present assault upon Christmas, but we are on our way towards Christmas, and there's been some very fun news stories regarding Christmas this year. One close to my heart. There's a man who's covered his whole home in tinfoil.
Yes.
And he's not, he's not on the edge of sanity. He's done it as a cheap
Yeah.
way of decorating. It's 20 quid. And the whole thing.
I thought you'd love him,
I
Al.
love him.
So it's
In fact, I think he might be
it's
my
one
new
room.
spirit animal.
It's
if,
one room, though, is it?
Oh, I thought he'd done the
Like it
outside
was
as
your
well.
spirit animal.
Yes.
The man who covered his home in tinfoil.
20 quid. And he...
You thought he'd done the outside as well.
All right.
Was he
I was
recreating
thinking-
the resting place of the turkey?
Excuse me, says the man who's appeared in Doctor Who.
I know.
Don't criticise people for using tinfoil, my friend.
Is it just
I
the
know,
one room?
but-
That bit of the
What
story
if he'd
is
done
like-
the room in tinfoil and then got some like roast potato bean bags
Brilliant.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
he'd lied in the middle of it naked with his hands and feet tied together?
Excellent. Be hard to
I'd
know what
have
community.
turned up. I love a bean bag. Oh yes, that was.
Oh Oh dear.
I did think
He
that
was an eccentric character.
That was a lot of tinfoil
Well,
for 20 quid. I was thinking maybe he got those extra wide rolls.
You know what he
you can get
needed
for a
the
big turkey.
What he needed for the guests was some London Marathon cloaks.
Yes, very useful they would have
Oh man, the reflection in there would have been a hall of mirrors.
I liked most that he was 46 and he had about 5 grandchildren.
Yeah, this is the modern world.
been.
Yeah.
Legend!
He was. Well, I thought it looked all right.
It does.
I liked it.
It looks
Yeah.
good.
I want to steal
Even
his
Emily,
style.
who's like an it girl society, person.
Oh.
You spend a lot of time in posh environments,
I
and you
do.
were impressed.
I
I
might do
thought
mine
it
with.
looked really effective.
I might do it with greaseproof paper.
Oh no, that's a bit depressing.
Just so depressing.
Just trace your whole house.
Oh, what a great! Yeah, exactly.
Get a thick pencil.
Also, he came out with a bit of a whatever happened to.
Did he?
Described his wife. He said, "I thought she blew a gasket."
Oh yeah,
Now you don't get that meant much these days, do
No,
you?
that
Blowing
was
a
it.
gasket.
that was a bit act your age, not your shoe size. Which I thought, as we were saying, talking last week, continental sizes has killed that remark.
True.
Yeah, happy to act like a 36-year-old.
Yeah,
Love to
I'm
be one.
43. Act your age, 43. Rubbish. And Elvis used to cover his people used to cover the inside of his hotel room windows with silver paper before he arrived
All right.
to give complete blackout because he often slept in the day.
Early version of blackout blinds.
Why didn't he just put? Yeah.
I don't think
I
they were
think
around
he
then, I
needed
think.
it thorough as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I love Elvis, as you know. I don't go to him for my life hacks. No. He had some...
I thought it was because he always needed some reminder of food, and he could associate that with the lining on the baking tray.
This,
Of the,
this is what's happened to the memory of the man, just associated with
Right,
his
listen,
eating.
I was
right
a massive
stuff.
Elvis fan. Excuse me.
Don't like the past tense.
Okay, still am.
Right.
So we can't end on that.
you know,
Strange ending.
he's no
No.
longer with us, don't you, Frank?
I do know that.
Oh, good.
But I also
have to
know that his
sit you down.
favourite colour was pink.
Was it?
Is that a fact?
On a week when my son was teased at school because he likes pink and it's a girl's colour, I quote.
Mm.
And in fact,
Outrageous.
we've posted a picture of me in a pink jumper on our website to show that that's correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Come on, give me an ending to this.
Okay.
This is the weakest link. Get out.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We've been talking about this character with the tinfoil living room.
Mm.
I'd like to make it a bit more glamorous on the Christmas
I
front.
don't know if you could do that.
And
More glamorous than tinfoil.
talk about Beyonce's new Christmas jumper. It retails at £42. There have been some complaints, though. It's not without controversy. Yes, I say controversy and not controversy. And that's because it's, well, I mean, the tagline on it, I believe it just says Beyonce's, is it holiday sweater? And
Yeah.
that's it.
So that's
Beyonce
the,
holiday sweater in a
that's
sort
the
of a childlike
slogan.
writing.
It's a bit right slogan here, yeah.
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 It's childlike writing, but no mention of a police car.
No.
All I'm saying is there's
Still
no
got the-
excuse. If your catchphrase is slay, how can you have a Christmas jumper and not incorporate slay?
That's
Is her catchphrase
I
slay?
never knew. What does slay mean now?
Slay is kind of, it means sort of fierce. It means you killed it, you would say in comedy
Oh, okay.
terms, in a good
Oh,
way.
Okay.
Yeah, is that
Right.
right, young people?
So
yeah.
what would she come off stage? It was the gig. Slay. That's what she'd say.
People
Slayed
would,
it.
yeah.
Would she say
I
slayed
don't-
it?
Would you say slayed it?
So I slayed
Would she?
it. I ended
Yeah.
with Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, slayed it. Oh, with that very short fringe.
Yeah.
But
Dave
no,
Hill.
you might, under a picture of her, you might write slay and then some fire emojis.
Oh, all right. I like
Oh,
those.
okay.
The youth are laughing.
I like
I've
the fire
arrived.
emojis.
So the jumper could have had her as Father Christmas,
Yes.
and it could say Beyond Slay
Beyonce. Brilliant.
because it's Beyond Slay.
First time
You know-
producers ever spoken on air, and it was in response to a Beyonce comment.
Well, yeah, it
Love.
would be.
So yeah, so all I'm saying is she missed an op there.
Did she?
Did she?
That must be a bit lopsided.
She needs to check her file of facts more often.
It does,
see
yeah.
what her appointment
I
book
thought
says.
she had people there.
Yeah.
Yes, So, yes, it's a black jumper, which already is a strange choice for Yuletide.
Yes.
True.
And it just says Beyoncé Christmas
Beyonce.
sweater.
Yes,
No,
it's
it
a bit-
doesn't. It doesn't. It says Beyonce holiday
Holiday
sweater.
Oh,
sweater.
holiday sweater.
Now, here's the thing. I think she might be doing her fans a favour because
Well,
it's not just tied down to
we've all
Christmas,
done
then,
that.
is it? You could.
no.
Yeah,
she
but
could.
come on.
You could wear it at Easter. Beyonce holiday sweater. Well, it's the Easter holidays. I'll pop it on.
I think she's covering.
What about a summer holiday when you've spent the day on the beach, your sunburn's aching?
Nice.
What
Nice
about
jumper.
Ryland could
drops
wear
cold.
it on Harry and Meghan's wedding day when
could
he
wear
plans
it.
on taking a holiday.
Yeah.
You could
I'm
write the
picturing-
word bank on a bit of gaffer and then just stick it so it says Beyonce bank holiday sweater.
Yeah.
If it's a holiday, maybe on a bit of tin foil.
Indeed, yeah.
You in that tin foil, you appear in one Doctor Who episode and you go crazy.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I would wear the Beyoncé
Me too.
sweater.
Wow, I'd pay $1,000 to see that. Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
The main reason I'd wear it is I couldn't get warm this week because absolutely everywhere I went it was freezing. The heating wasn't working in my house. When I went out, it was freezing cold. And I thought the thing about this sweater is I'd be so embarrassed
Oh,
Yeah.
that would warm me up, be like an extra layer.
Yeah.
The embarrassment.
The embarrassment is a natural furnace.
Yeah. I'm calling it squirmal as opposed to
nice.
thermal.
Very good.
Because if you're, just the blushing
Uh-huh.
would be, give you a little glow. It'd be like
Yeah.
Ready Break.
Very good.
42 quid, it's a lot cheaper than Zoella's advent calendar.
That's
Oh,
a
I'd
good point.
forgotten about
Christmas
that.
calendar, sorry. Holiday calendar. I think Beyonce's probably think, well, I don't want any religions that won't buy it,
Yeah.
so I won't be. I won't be.
I agree with
specific.
you over the black. It's not very Christmassy. It's a bit
No.
Christmas round at Johnny and Winona's, isn't it? I want a sort of red, green, maybe a pink, and some glitter.
Pink.
Pink?
Yeah.
No, I think it's got to be red and green for Christmas, hasn't it?
Also, I thought she'd gone for that slogan, Beyonce holiday sweater, because it was a BHS exclusive.
Oh,
So I thought
very
she'd
good.
done
Although
a
I
deal
think
with British Home
I
Stores.
hate to break it to you
some bad
about
news.
BHS.
Yeah, is it gone?
I think it's gone.
Yes.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Afraid so.
Yes.
We've got some
Well,
sad
maybe
news to
before.
catch you
Maybe
up
this
on.
has been a long negotiation with Beyonce's people.
Yeah.
In the
They did-
days before she had the accent, she was known as Bay once. Oh, has it really gone, British Home Stores?
Yes, it has. Don't talk to Philip Green about it.
You heard it here last.
really last.
That's terrible news. It's such a great
When
name.
you say news,
It's going to really upset the people listening to Absolute 80s.
describe it.
It's such a brilliant name for a shop as well, British Home Store. Just as you go there for your tin hat, your gas mask. Oh, they've got to buy one, get one free this week. Buy one, bayonet. Oh, well, we end the show on an absolute shocker. British Home Stores. God.
Humdinger of a news story.
Man. I feel a little bit nauseous. Anyway,
Wait till we tell him about Woolworths over brunch.
If you feel nauseous, how does Philip Green feel?
that's terrible news. So thank you so much for listening. And after several requests, might I say, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Goodbye.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.